Here, yesterday we discussed what is UI, what all topics comes under this UI. Here, web UI programming. UI here it is a user interface. To create this user interactive page, we have to learn HTML 4 and 5, CSS 2 and 3, third topic JavaScript. Here, fourth one jQuery. Here, fifth one here Ajax. Sixth one responsive design. Here, seventh one will be here Bootstrap. Eighth one will be here lessons as programming. Lessons as programming. Ninth one here project. 10th one here exam. Total duration of my content will be here 2 months. 2 months I'm going to continue. Here we will continue on all this. Okay, let me save. 18th. 9 p.m. Yes. Here, in this HTML is a hypertext markup language. It basically creates, here it basically creates a skeleton part of the web page. Skeleton part of web page. CSS, it will create makeup part. So style part of web page. Here JavaScript, it will add it here functionality of web page. Next jQuery. Here jQuery is a external library of JavaScript. External library of JavaScript. 1 second. Here it is jQuery is a external library of JavaScript. It is an external file. By that we can easily develop our application. Here Ajax, here it is a asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of JavaScript and XML. In this time, how to implement our Ajax call with JavaScript, Ajax call with jQuery. Here JavaScript Ajax, jQuery Ajax, you can understand here. In responsive design time, you will understand how to develop our application for mobile phone, tablet, desktop. In all different resolution, how to show our output, that you will understand under responsive design. Next one, Bootstrap. It's a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework only, we call it as Bootstrap. Here, next one here, lessons as, it is a superset of CSS. Superset of CSS. CSS only, but under that it is a superset. Like some extra, we will learn it under this lessons as. Here project, in this project time, you will learn this project sessions. Generally, I'll continue on Saturday sessions. One Saturday project session, one Saturday exam. Like that, I'll continue. Once one topic completed, the topic related exam I'll conduct. So this is basic information of each topic, what I covered yesterday. To write this programming, UI programming, we have to use one IDE here. IDE here, it is a integrated development environment. Here integrated development environment, we call it as IDE. Here in this IDE, here we have so many IDEs, Visual Studio Code, Autumn, Brackets, NetBeans, here IntelliJ. You can use IntelliJ and Dreamweaver. Here, Dreamweaver, Here 7th, autumn brackets, Dreamweaver, here Eclipse. You can also use Eclipse. Here like this, so many ideas we have to develop our application. To develop our UI programming, we have so many IDEs we have. These IDEs are helpful to write our program easily. Normally, you can write your program in Notepad, you can execute it by browser. You can write it in Notepad, you can execute it by browser. But because of this IDE, here, because of this IDE, you can easily develop your application. Here, now, this is what here IDE, here, here, Notepad, you can write your program in Notepad, you can execute it in the browser. Here, in this Notepad, whatever content I'm writing here, that content you can execute it through browser. Through browser, you will execute your program. Okay, so this time, whenever we write our program here, that program automatically executed by browser only. Here, browser can easily execute our program. It is possible by IDE, Integrated Development Environment. This is what here IDE. This IDE here, VS Code is one IDE. If you don't use IDE, you can go with the Notepad. But nowadays, every development is going on with the IDE only. Integrated Development Environment we are using to develop our application. Okay, so everywhere we are using Java students will use Eclipse or IntelliJ. PHP students will use XAMPP, WAMP, LAMP. Those all servers. And we can use that related IDEs, and framework is one IDE. You can use it to develop our application. Next, you can also use here frameworks you can use to develop the application, as well as here every platform operating system, just programming related IDEs, we will use it to write our programs. Here, VS Code is one IDE, Autumn is one IDE. These are all helpful for writing our programs in our Windows system or operating system. Any type of operating system, you can use it to write our programs. Here, now I'm going for IDE, for web UI development, we always go with the Visual Studio Code. Present in development environment in the classroom and classroom sake, we are using here one IDE here. That is what here, Visual Studio Code. In the real time, as well as in the present development time. In real time development and in classroom development, we are using IDE here, that is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is helpful to design our output to develop our application. Here you can go for Google. So once you click on this search option here, once you search for VS Code here, you will redirect to here you will redirect to vscode.exe file. Once you double click on it, here couple of next clicks, here it will be installed in our system. Once this is installed, that Visual Studio Code is installed in our system, by that we can execute our program. Here, once it is installed in our system, automatically we can execute our program. See here, go to the download option. Here, download option of this Visual Studio Code. Here, go to the downloads. Under this, you can find it here. See, this is VS Code IDE. Last one. Visual Studio Code IDE is like this. Here, this is one Eclipse IDE. Eclipse IDE, we use it for Java. Visual Studio Code IDE, we'll use it for web UI development. So once you double click on it, here already it is open. So I don't want to open, close. Here that IDE, I'll close it. Here, once you double click on it, on this Visual Studio Code, here, in this time, you can see here accept terms and conditions. This is one license. Just click on next button. Here what you want to install, it will give you all list, and click on next button. Once you click install button here, automatically this will be installed in our system. Here this will be installed in our systems. Here already I have this installation, so I'll open that. Here after couple of next clicks, it will be installed. Then go for computer start button. Under this, you can search for VS Code. See computer start button, search for VS Code, enter. By this Visual Studio Code, you can see here like this. Visual Studio Code will be loaded into our system like this. After this, just open that file here. File, open, folder option will be there. File, open, folder. Then documents, here. You can create your own folder. 8 p.m. folder I'm creating. Just select that folder. See, 8 p.m. folder is loaded into our Visual Studio Code. Here, this way you can open your folder. Any folder anywhere in your system, that you can open it into our system by this. Okay. So now you can find new file and new folder. So once you click on this new folder, here you can create separate folder for HTML4 topic. See, HTML4 topic here. I created one separate folder here. Under this separate folder, here it's HTML4 folder. Here, HTML4 folder I'm creating. Here, I'm creating here. Under this HTML4 folder, I'm going to write one new file here. This is here, one.html program. One.html program. See, any HTML page, standard code here, doc type, HTML head and body. Without writing anything, suppose if you write welcome like this, even though you can execute your program. But according to WWW, World Wide Web Consortium, according to that rule, we have to write our code. Okay. Here, in this one.html program, this one.html program, how can we execute? See here, go to the VS Code. There is an option called file. Open folder will be there. By that, you can open your own folder, 8 p.m. folder anywhere in your system. We can create subfolder HTML4. Under this, we can write our one.html program. Like this, we can write. In this one.html program, generally we will write that standard code of HTML. Here, standard code of HTML. So now you can check it. Here you can write it here, doc type, HTML start and close. Here only we can write it here, head start and close, and body start and close. Here body start, body close. Under this head section, we can write it here. Script tag, we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Here style tag, we use it here for writing CSS code. Script tag and then style tag, we'll use it. Under this body tag, what all the other tags will write it, that is all related to HTML. What all other tags will write it here, those all related to HTML. All our HTML tags. Okay. Inside the body tag, whatever we write it, those all comes under HTML tags. See, without writing any HTML tag, I wrote my code like this. To execute this program, we will go for VS Code. There is an option called extensions. Under this extension, you can find it here. Search for live server. Just click on install button. By this, live server will be installed in our system. Go to the extensions. Search for live server. See, this is live server. If you not find it here, search for live server. Click on install button. By this, live server will be installed in our system. Once this is live server is installed, Once you right click, you can find open with live server. See, open with live server. By this, your program automatically opens in the live server. Here we are opening our program through live server. See here, I'm able to open my program with a live server. By this, automatically it will open one live server. See, like this. This is the way generally it will open. So Control C, copy. Now check the code here. Here, how the live server is executed. Once you click on install button, it will be installed. It will open our output like this. This way we can execute our code with live server. With the live server, you can execute your code, your program code, you can execute it like this. Okay, here you can run your program, right click, open with live server. By this, you can see that standard code will be here. Right click. I didn't wrote any standard code. I wrote just only welcome. See here, doc type HTML head and body, you can see as our output. This is the way generally we'll execute our program. This is the procedure of execution of the program. Here I'm writing doc type HTML head and body. This is the standard code of HTML. Under this, that welcome message, whatever I'm printing here. Here, whatever welcome message I'm printing here, this welcome message will print as our output. But according to the standard, we have to write our code. That's why we have to write doc type HTML head and followed by body. Under this body, I can write it here, welcome to HTML or something if I write it. See, automatically code will get updated here. See here, doc type HTML head and body, welcome to HTML and injected code of HTML. Here, like this, you will get output for our application. Here, this is the way we'll write the primary code of HTML. Yesterday you have attended demonstration and today you understood here what is the use of each topic, and yesterday also we discussed what is the use of each topic. That brief information we discussed today, and we continued on installation procedure of Visual Studio Code in our system and execution of our programs through Visual Studio Code. After this, generally I'll cover pair tags and unpaired tags under HTML. Yesterday I explained first program on pair tags and unpaired tag. Second program I explained block and inline elements. Block elements and inline elements and pair tags and unpaired tags. These are. Here, now I'm continuing on this. See, let me open my folder of 8:30. Here, 8:30 PM folder. Yesterday we discussed here, that is one.html program. In this, I explained here what all the list of pair tags we have. Pair tag here, whenever you write the starting tag, definitely you need to write the closing tag here. It comes under pair tag. Here, this pair tags, here H1 to H6, all comes under pair tags. Heading tag, div tag, all comes under pair tags. HR tag is for horizontal line, all different HR tags you can use. And you input type text button, radio button, like that we can write all input elements. BR tag we use it for break line. Image SRC is used to display images for our program. Here all different images for our application we can display to the user by image tag. Image 1.jpg and this is one more image and this is one more image. See, all different images we are showing here in all different ways. One is directly 1.jpg, direct location image. Next, we are writing here. Here, 1.jpg directly I am writing name of the image. Second, location of that image here, that SRC, my system's local location I'm writing. And third one, URL of that image. So any URL of that image, we can write it by this image tag. Here I'm writing image SRC, all three different images we are writing for our program like this. So this way only we can write our program, we can execute our program. Here, this way only we can write our program and we can execute our program like this. Here, how to write that 1.html program, how we can execute it, how to print our output. These all you can check it with our program. Here, we can write 1.jpg and we can write our directly location of the image. Another one here, image SRC is used to display images. That images all are here, that URL path of that image. Three ways. And for every image tag, you can write width, height, and ALT. Width, height, and ALT. ALT here, it is an alternative text. If the image not available, that time it will show you that alternate text. You can see that execution here with a live server. If you execute it, see, output will come like this. Here, H1 to H6, it is showing like this. H1 to H6, horizontal line. That horizontal line we are mentioning with the width and size. Here, one more horizontal line, it is showing here in the green color output like this. And input type text, input type button, input type radio. How to display all input elements. Then BR tag for break line. And image tag is used to display images. And flower image. Here, other location image, current location image, and URL of that image. Those three we discussed under this. Here, all these things we can write like this. Next, here after this images and buttons, radio buttons and all, how to write our program. We are writing here all output for our application will be like this. With that, we can execute this pair and unpair tag like this. After this, we discussed block and inline elements. Under this block and inline elements, we discussed here. See, we discussed block and inline elements here. That block and inline elements are here. Here, whenever you open your, whenever you write any particular tag, that always starts in a new line of the web page. For them, CSS code is display block. Here, H1 to H6, it will show you as heading tags here. This heading tags, H1 to H6 tags, we are using as our heading tags. This heading tag, here H1 tag to H6 tags we have. This heading tags, whatever heading we are writing here, that it will display bigger size to smaller size, all different sizes of headings we can display to the user. Here, when we write the H1 tag, it will display here bigger size heading for us. Whenever we write the H1 tag, it will display here bigger size heading for us. H6 tag, it will show you here smaller size heading. So now run this program with a live server. See, this is block elements and inline elements. Here H1 to H6 and div tag, all are continuing in the new line. Paragraph, all continue starts in a new line. Why? Because CSS code is display block. Next one, here only you can check italic content, strong content, bold content, strike tag. These all starts in a continue in the same line. Here, these all list of tags continue in the same line of the web page. Here, I tag, EM tag, both for italic content. Strong tag, bold tag is used to display bold content for us. And strike tag, del tag is used to display deleted or a strikeout content for our application. U tag is for underline content. Span tag and mark tag we are using here. Span tag and mark tag we are using here. Span here background highlighting content, mark tag content. Next, here image SRC is used to display images. Username text box, you can display here like this. So this way only we'll write our total code. Here we are writing here all images, inline elements, all will be like this. Next, after this block and inline elements, we discussed marquee tag. Marquee tag mainly we use it for scrolling content. Left to right, right to left, any scrolling content we can show to the user by this marquee. Here, Mark you your left to right, right to left, and up direction, down direction. Here all mark you tag. Direction only for the left and right. We wrote behavior alternate. By this, it in between the screen only, it will scroll the content. Here, next one direction up. It will move the content in towards up direction. Direction down, it will move the content towards down direction. And here scroll amount. Here that scroll amount here it is that speed limit of that particular content will be like this. Here next we are going for behavior alternate. It will show you alternate behavior in between the screen. This is all attributes of marquee tag. Just let me show that execution. Here, one content is scrolling inside the screen to that outside of my screen. It is going in the first marquee tag, that is the default marquee tag. Next, we are going for here scrolling content. We are showing here left to right, right to left. This type of in between the screen only it will show that scrolling content. Here, that scrolling content, it is moving in between the screen. See, towards left direction and right direction. See here, in between the screen, it will show you that output. This is possible by here scrolling content. We can show to the user by this. This is one type of marquee tag. It will show you this marquee. Here it will move in between the screen. In between the screen, and once it touched the end point, it will bounce back. So this is one type of effect. Here it is possible by marquee tag. Because of marquee tag, you can show that output like this. Next, one more marquee tag, it is showing that content is scrolling in up direction. One more marquee tag is scrolling in the down direction. Here, because of that scroll amount, that content, how much speed you want it, that you can decide it by scroll amount. This is totally about the marquee. Marquee content, we can write like this. One second. Sorry for the disturbance. Here, we are continuing on this next tag here. Up to now, after installation procedure of this Visual Studio Code and all, first program we completely discussed on. Here, first program is on paired tags and unpaired tags. Here, second program we discussed on. Here, second program we discussed on block and inline elements. Here, third program we discussed on marquee tag. Here, marquee tag mainly we use it for scrolling content. Then fourth program we discussed here. Here, marquee tag we used it here for showing that scrolling content. Here, next we are going for here Then fourth program, I'm going for table. How to display table of content, rows and columns information, how to display that you can check it by table tag. Table tag we are using here to display that rows and columns information. Here rows and columns information we can show to the user by this table tag. See, in this table tag you can find it here how to write columns of a table and rows of the table. You will learn it here. Columns of a table and rows of the table. So now check it here, table.html, save table.html. First I'll explain to you in this here table tag. Table will write it here, table start, table close. Under this we can write border of the table here, 1 pixel, 2 pixel of border, and body heading of the table is by t head. Here body of the table is by t body. Yeah, heading of the table is by t head, body of the table is by t body. In this t head, whatever heading I'm writing here we are writing here t head and t body. In this t head, heading of the table, we can easily write it by here heading tags. Heading tag I'm using here, t head, we use it here for writing heading of the table. So this heading of the table, we usually write it here in t head. In this, each column of heading, we can write it by th. Th, we use it here to display each column of heading. Employee number, employee name, employee salary. See, like this, we can write it here. Employee number, employee name, employee salary. Here, this way, if you write it here, this is what here, heading of the table. And body of the table, we can write it here, tr. tr, we use it here, table row. Under this tr, how many rows, tds you wanted, those many you can write. Here TD start, TD close. Under this TD start, TD close. Here we are writing here 3 column of information like this TD. Under this TD, see employee number, employee name. Here employee salary. Like this we can write. Here this way we can write one table tag. See how it will display that output. Here for this table only we can write cell spacing. Here cell to cell how much gap you want it, that is cell spacing. And similar way you can write a cell padding. Here column of the cell to border of the cell to column of the cell how much gap you want it, that is cell padding. So we are going to write cell spacing and cell padding table all we are writing like this. Next, if you want to merge the columns and rows, we will use it here col span and row span. So let me continue on this table. Here, what all table tag content we have? Let me show that. Here it is one table. Under this table tag, control yes. Here, let me write the table here. It is doc type HTML head and body. Here itself HTML head and followed by body. Under this, I'm writing H1. Here table tag example. Table tag example is the heading here. So now in this time, I'm writing here table tag like this. Here I'm writing table tag like this. See title of this one here, title. Here table tag example is the title. So now if I run this program here, run it with live server, see here, table tag example will print like this. Here table tag example will print like this. So now in this time, here it is about the table tag. How to display that table we observed. Next I'm writing here one more table. Here H1. It is cell spacing. Here cell spacing. Here cell to cell, how much gap you want it, that is cell spacing. Here, cell to cell, how much gap you want it, that we call it as cell spacing. Here, cell spacing here, how much gap you want it, one cell to another cell, that is cell spacing. See here, there is a gap between one cell to another cell. This is what cell spacing. Similar way, we can write it here, cell padding. Here itself, H1. Here it is cell padding. Cell padding time, you can check it here. How can we give the gap between content to cell? Here, cell padding, here it is 20 pixels. Suppose if I write it, see here. This is center content. All sides you can see some gap here. This is cell padding. This is center content here. All sides you can see some gap here. This is center content. You can see all sides gap. This is cell padding. Here, one cell to another cell, there is a space here. That is cell spacing. Center content of the cell to all sides of the cell, you can see some gap. This is by cell padding. Here, table tag example, we observed here how to give gap between one cell to another cell. That is cell spacing. And here, cell padding. Here, one cell to another cell, there is a gap here. This is cell padding. Sorry, one center content of the cell to all sides of the cell, there is a gap here. That is cell padding. Next, I'm going for here cell spacing, cell padding. Next, here we are going for one more H1. Here it is call span. Call span is mainly used to merge the columns. See, here itself I'm writing here call span. Suppose if I remove one pair of TD from here, for the above TD only, I'll write call span equal to 2. So by this, number and name, both I can merge it. See here, I'm able to merge number and name, both the columns. Here, first line, first heading, it is 3 column. But here in this, in the data, table data, it is 2 column. See, first one, second one. See, this is because of call span. Here, call span. 1 second. Here we are going to write that call span here. We are merging 2 columns of information call span. Next, we can write it here. Here itself, we can write it here. One more heading H1. This is row span. Row span, see, I'm using here row span here. I'm going to merge 2 rows. See, here I'll remove. See, I have 2. I want to write 2 rows information here. TR start and close. Under this TD, here 1 or 2 TD and name and salary, I can write it. Here name and salary, I'm writing like this. Now you can see that here table, it is displaying like this. Here 3 columns and 3 rows. 2 rows, it is displaying like this. 2 rows here, other than heading 2 rows. Now if I want to merge two rows here, 2 rows if I want to merge here, see, I'll remove one pair of TD from here, from the second row. I'll go to the first row. For this only, here, for this only, I'll write row span equal to 2. Here itself, I'm writing row span equal to 2. So by this, I can merge 2 rows information. Here, for this, I can merge 2 rows information for my program. Here, yeah. So 2 rows information, we can merge it here by row span. Here itself, we are writing here call span and row span. Call span is used to merge 2 columns. Row span is used to merge 2 rows. Here, how to merge the columns, how to merge the rows, that you can check it in this example. Here, suppose if you don't remove that, here, suppose if you don't remove that, here, if you don't remove one pair of TD, how it will display in the table, that you can check it. See, I'll show you that. Here, suppose if I don't remove the one pair of TD, here it is 1 or 2, it is here only. See here, how the table is disturbing. So number is coming to the name. Here, yeah. Here, we are going to write rows and columns. Okay. Here, the rows and columns information we are writing here. In this rows and columns information, here if you don't remove one pair of TD from the second row, that will come here. That name is going to the salary. Salary is going outside of the table. So this way you will get output because of this call span and row span. Here call span is merging two columns. Row span is merging two rows. Here call span and row spans will write like this. So next, here call span and row span for our program, we can write like this. This way only we can execute it. So now I'm going for here call span, row span completed. Here, this is totally about the table. Table for our program, we are writing TRTD and T-head, T-body, how to display all the table and how we can display our output, we understood under this. Here call span, row span, cell spacing, cell padding. If you don't, here, if you want to merge 3 rows information, you can remove here one more TD, here one more row, you can write it here. So by that, you can merge 3 rows. See, if you want to merge 3 rows information here, so for this, we can write it here, row span equal to 3. By this, see here, you can check it here, 3 rows are merged like this. 3 rows are merged like this. This is what here row span. Here call span and row span for our program. This is cell spacing and cell padding for our program. This way only we can execute our program. This is the way we can write our program, we can execute. Is it clear this table tank? All 4 students? Karimulla, Santosh, Sandeep, Visai.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Any doubts, any students? Clear for Wesley? Sandeep, yes. Santosh? He is not in. Karimulla, yes. Okay. Santosh, is it clear for you, table tank? Fine, no problem. So here up to now, we discussed table tank, what all attributes we have under this table, we understood. Next tank here, so 5th one here, UL tank, OL tank. UL tank for unordered list, OL tank is for ordered list. Generally, I'll cover UL, OL and then anchor tank with the href, anchor tank with the different target attributes and the frame set. Here, frame set tank, how to use it. Within that frame tank, how to use it, we'll learn. Then meta tank, name and content and all. Here, 8th one, input element, input type text, button, radio button, all. Next, after this, 9th one here, it is form tank, method equal to either get or post and action page. Here, these all contents, these all tags, we are going to learn under HTML4. Under HTML4, I'm going to explain these all programs. Next, after completion of these all, I'll move on to the CSS2 topic. CSS2, in that what all properties we have and how to apply that all properties to our application, how to execute all those things we'll learn. And tomorrow onwards, regularly my class starts at 8:30 only. This link name, I'll rename that name of this link. Okay, I'll inform to organizer to change the link. Link will be same, but class timing will be 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I'll continue everyday session. Here today, Wednesday, we continued on table tag. I'll continue list elements UL and OL. These recordings I'll upload it in your drive. I didn't got yesterday recording from organizer. So yesterday recording and today's recording, both I'll upload it in your drive. See, I think now I got 2 recordings. See, I'll download this recordings. I'll upload it in your drive. So by this, you can get my here. Okay, here you will get my files, recording files. So by that, you can check my everyday class recordings. Everyday class recordings, you can check it here. With that, you can download that file and you can, sorry, not download, you can check that. You can listen that recordings every day. So everyday class, I'm uploading in one 8:30 p.m. drive. So 8:30 p.m. one drive I already created for your batch. In that drive only, I'm uploading everyday files. So you can check that drive for my class files. Okay, you can check that drive for my class related files. See, I'll show you my 8:30 p.m. folder. This is 6 a.m. This is 8:30 p.m. Here, up to 12th December, I uploaded every 12th December. Did I take in any class? 12th December, I didn't take in any class. 11th. 12th, I already traveled. Thursday night, I traveled to some other place. 11th, I continued. Okay, maybe this 12th is wrong. So up to 11th December, I continued your class. 9th December, 5th December, all I continued your class. After this, yesterday onwards, here, yesterday 17th onwards, I'm continuing your class. 17th recording, after 11th recording, 17th and 18th recordings, I'll upload it in your drive. Okay, so up to 11th record, 11th 9 p.m. 11th 9 p.m. only. That week I continued at 9 p.m. This week onwards will continue. Tomorrow onwards, 19th onwards, every day class starts at 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. for the next few days. After that, I'll change your class. I'll increase your class timing to 1 hour 15 minutes. So every day it will be till end of the course. I'll continue same time 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Up to 9:45, I'll extend. Yeah, depends on that topic. So once I start JavaScript topic, I want to explain for the 1 hour 15 minutes. So in future, I'll increase your class timing, but class timing every day will be 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. tomorrow onwards. And mostly link will be same link or different link that I'll contact organizer. They'll share that link with you. Okay, everyday class recordings, other than demo recordings, remaining all recordings I uploaded in this drive. Here in this drive, other than demo recording, every file I uploaded in this. And today onwards, we'll continue all session numbers and all session recordings. You can check it through my drive. So by that, whenever you miss any class or if you're not able to implement any program, you can open that sequence number, session number wise. You can open my file and you can listen my recording and you can do your program. Now, I'm continuing on this 5th one UL tag. Tomorrow, Thursday, I'll continue on anchor tag and frame set meta tag. Friday, I'll continue on input elements and form tag. Saturday, I'll upload one question paper under HTML4. And Saturday, I'll continue on the here CSS2 introduction part. And revision of HTML4 and CSS2 introduction part, I'll continue. Saturdays, generally, I'll conduct test and I'll take project session. In that project session, how to develop our application That you will understand under that project session. Here, now I'm continuing on this UL. Here, this UL tag, UL is mainly for unordered list. UL and OL tag, we use it for ordered and unordered list. Here, UL. Under this UL, you can find it here, that list elements, how to write it. How many list elements we wanted, those many list elements we can show for our program. Item 1, item 2, item 3, all the list of elements we will write like this. Here, all list elements for my program will write like this. Yeah. Here, this elements, whatever I'm writing here, this is unordered list. This one, it is unordered list. Next, similar way, we can write it here, ordered list. Ordered list we can write, unordered list you can write. Here, this is OL time. OL time. Under this, how many list elements we wanted, those many list elements we can show. Here only you can find item 1, item 2, item 3. How many list elements we wanted, those many list elements we can show for our program. This is what here, ordered list. Ordered list will write like this. See, let me write the program on this ordered list, unordered list, and what all types are allowed and all I'll explain to you. And tomorrow onwards, directly 8:30. Today I started at 8 p.m. and I revised a session for one student, and installation procedure and all I explained for one student. So I'll end our class after this UL/OL tag. And tomorrow 8:30 only I'll directly start my session. I'll continue up to 9:30. Tomorrow onwards, every day till end of the course, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. only. We'll continue everyday class on the continuation of tags. By Saturday, we'll complete HTML4. So next week, complete week, we will spend on CSS2 topic. Here, then last week of December, we'll continue on the JavaScript topic. Here, this weekend, I'll take project session. And these days will continue on the these days will continue on the remaining content. Remaining content here, JavaScript. So 30th December onwards, every day will continue on the JavaScript topic. Okay, so this is my plan. Okay, so now let me save here HTML ordered, unordered list. Here ordered list, unordered list, list.html. So now list.html, doc type HTML, head and body. Here head and body tag. Under this head, I'm writing here title. Title here. Here title of the application. Here it is list tag example is the title. Here body tag h1. Here it is unordered list. Unordered list. Under this, I'm writing UL. Here, under this UL, I'm writing LI. Here only, all items we can write it. Item 1, 2, 3, we are writing like this. Here, now, similar way, I'll write H1, ordered list, ordered list. For this, you can write OL. For this, you can write all your list elements here. Item 1, 2, 3 list elements, you can write like this. Here 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Now, if I run this program here, see, you can see that execution will be like this. Here, this is ordered list. This is unordered list, ordered list. By default, unordered list will show you with the list elements. Here, all list element style type here it is disk. Here, for this ordered list, all list elements will show you with 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, it will show you for ordered list. For this, it is here disk. By default, it is list style type is disk. Here, for this, by default, it is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if I mention here, see that ordered list I'm writing here. That ordered list, whatever I'm writing here, that if you want, you can change the type here. Type equal to disk, circle, disk, square, allowed for unordered list. Here it is type equal to circle, type equal to square. Here type equal to circle, disk, square. Here disk. See here, by default it is disk. If you mention disk, even though it is disk. Other than this, see here circle, square. Circle, disk, square. So this is disk, this is circle, this is square. Check it clearly. This is disk. By default, UL tag with a disk. Here it is circle. This is square. This is disk. This way it will show that output. Next, you can see that ordered list also same. That ordered list, you can write it here. Here itself, I'm writing ordered list. That is OL tag. Here under this, see item 1, 2, 3, we are placing here. Here item 1, 2, 3 I'm writing. Here list elements are here 22, 23, 24, something if I write. Here by default it is with 1, 2, 3. If you mention type equal to, here type equal to capital ABCs. Here only you can write OL tag, type equal to small ABCs. Here for element, here 1, 2, 3s you can write. Here itself you can write that OL tag. Here OL tag I'm writing here. This OL tag only we can write it here. Type equal to capital ABCs, small ABCs, and then type equal to here smaller Roman letters and capital Roman letters. These are allowed types for the OL tag. Here capital Roman letters. So now if you check it here, run this program here, run it with live server. See, you can check it here. This ordered list, how it is displaying. Ordered list by default, it is 1, 2, 3. If you mention here capital ABC, smaller Roman numbers, capital Roman numbers. These all allowed for our ordered list. For our ordered list, it is allowed like this. Here for this ordered list, it is allowed like this. See here, that is 1, 2, 3, capital ABC, small ABC, smaller Roman numbers, capital Roman numbers. These are allowed for ordered list. Here, unordered list, it is allowed here. By default, it is disk. If you write it here, circle, see it is circle, square. Like this we can write. Here, next we are writing here that ordered list only. Here, ordered list or unordered list. If you write it here, nested list element. Under one list element, you can write one more UL. Under this, you can write it here like this. See, this is main list element followed by sublist. By default, main list element with a disk, sublist elements with a circle. Suppose if you want to write one more sublist element for this, again under ULI, I'm writing one more one. See, I'm writing here 22, 33, 44, something I'm writing here. See here. By default, outer list elements with a disk, inner list elements with a circle, inner list elements with a square. Here, by default, outer list elements with a disk, here inner list elements with a circle, nested list elements with a square. So this type of output we can show for our program. This is what here, unordered list. Unordered list for our application, we can write like this. Unordered list for our program, we can write like this. Ordered list and unordered list for my program, we can write like this. Here, this way only we can write our program. Ordered list or unordered list for my program, we can write like this. Here, this way we can write it. Next one, here only we are writing here sublist elements for OL tag. Here, this is main list element with the 1, 2, 3. Sublist element, even if you write it, See, OL tag, if I write it under this list element, if I write it, all list elements will show you here with 1, 2, 3 only. See, main list element 1, 2, 3, sub list elements also 1, 2, 3. This main list element and sub list element, where you can use it. Suppose if you open any university or a college site, here that menu bar, generally UL tag, we use it here, main list element and sub list element, sub list element. This is main menu, sub menu, and inside that one more sub menu. See, this type of output is because of here UL tag. Because of UL tag only, we are going to show our output like this. Now right click inspect element on this. You can check your execution here like this. Here this is UL, this is main list element, followed by sub list element, followed by sub list element. So this type of output we can show for our program. This is possible by UL and OL. Here UL tag I'm using here. UL tag, this is main list element followed by sub list element. How to display our output, that you can check it. UL, right click, delete element. So because if I delete that UL tag, output will be here. You cannot see any menu bar. So anywhere menu bar, main menu, sub menus, sub menus, all menu bars we can create it by UL tag. Okay. Today new content here, table tag and UL tag. Table tag and UL OL tag. This is ordered, unordered list and table tag. These two we discussed in today's session. Tomorrow, Thursday, I'll continue on the anchor tag and the frame set and meta tag example. After that, Friday, I'll continue on input element and the form tag. Saturday, I'll revise the session and I'll continue on the CSS 2 topic on Saturday. Okay, this is my plan. So accordingly, we'll work out all our syllabus. Okay, that's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. regular 8:30 p.m. All students join at 8:30 p.m. for the continuation of session. Up to now, any doubts? Yes, please. Up to now, any doubts? Yes, all of you. Up to now, any doubts?
No.
We'll meet tomorrow for the continuation of syllabus. Thank you.